Day 2, 2014 NCAA Division I Outdoor Track and Field Championships with Caleb Hoover, the Joplin native and College Heights Christian former state champ and Northern Arizona junior. And seems like you've been pretty close the last 2 years at making it in the Steeple to Nationals and pulled it off this year. Tell me what it was like to finally break through at Arkansas and qualify to be at Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great experience just because of the heartbreak last year, being the fastest one to not make it. So it was really good just to come out and represent the team and actually make it this year.
Yeah.
So I know my coach thought I could, and
sure.
So I wanted to make sure and not let him down and make it. So
yeah. And then what was the mindset coming into the race, into the meet?
Yeah,
after the celebration of a day or two, what was when you refocused and were thinking about the meet?
Yeah, I mean, the focus was, I knew I wasn't seated in the top 12, so
sure.
The goal is just come in here and see if I can knock anybody off, and luckily I was able to do that. I just kept on putting myself in position because that's what you have to do.
Right.
Initially I thought it was going to get away from me. Those first 3 laps were pretty quick.
Sure.
But I just let them get a little bit away from me, and then as they slowed down, I just kept same pace and moved up through there, and then just really held on for the end. And I was trying to go for the 5th, but I got 6th, but I still made it in. So.
Well, there was a lot of movement throughout the race. A lot of guys, maybe nobody going down in the water pit except a time or two, but a lot of people slipping and a lot of movement on the backstretch a lot. And a couple times it looked like they were going to get away from you, and you made up that ground. And did you feel? Was that part of the focus? Was to stay in the race and not let it get away from you, and to stay mentally focused and not let the atmosphere or the surroundings get take away your focus?
Yeah, because it's really easy to let a race get away from you. You should just start like that negative self-talk, and then let a gap separate, then you never close it back.
Yeah.
But I saw that gap separate, and I'm like, you know what? I know I can get up there with him right now, so maybe if I get up there with him, I'll be able to stay with him.
Yeah.
And I got up there with him. I was able to stay with him, so it's just, because sometimes you just have to force yourself till you actually do it,
Sure.
Kind of like fake a smile till you're actually happy. But yeah, so that was my mindset, just like kind of force it and see if I can get there.
Yeah. And then after that last water jump, in that last bear, man, you had just a hellacious type kick, and your arms were flying, and looks like you moved up a couple spots. Is it? Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah. No, and that's kind of been the focus, is coming off that last barrier. And yeah, my form wasn't quite as pretty as I wanted, but sometimes you just have to get the job done.
Yeah. And how much did you move up from like 8th to 6th?
That's what I think. Yeah. And I was right on the border of 5th. That guy was probably 0.1 ahead of me or so. I don't know, some close, but I was going for that 5th spot.
And so you just missed the last automatic spot, and then you have to sweat out the next heat and see. Let's see, you were 8:44 PR by 3/4 of a second or so. And what was it like being in the and waiting and watching that second heat, see if they go slow enough to get you in?
Yeah, that was kind of nerve-wracking. The Eastern Kentucky guy and I were just watching it, like, hopefully we got it in. Anthony Rotich was there as well. He's like, oh, you guys are fine. And of course we're not going to believe him until we see it.
One of the fastest guys in the country and national champ last year.
Yeah, but then we see him go 8:48, and we're just hugging each other and stuff. It was pretty cool for sure.
Yeah. So it set in that you made your first, not only your first NCAA, but your first final.
Yeah.
Celebrate the rest of the night and tomorrow focus on the final, or what are you?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll take me a little bit to fall asleep tonight, just because I'll be excited, and I pretty much slept most of the day. So just really start focusing. Probably, obviously, everybody in the final wants to make All-American.
Sure.
So I don't really know how I'll race that yet. Probably try and do like the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll just try and stay with it and see what I can pull off at the end.
How far along in your college process did Coach Hines, when you talk about Steeple and that would be a good event for you? Was that from the initial recruiting process, or was that, after cross was over your freshman year? When did that start?
Yeah, I think when actually indoor started my freshman year, I was like, I'll go for Steeple. I know it's not like the most competitive event, but it's pretty competitive, And I thought it was something that, if you're willing to work hard at, you can get better at, because not everybody, you're already running a lot of miles. Like, who wants to go and do extra work for hurdles?
Sure.
And so I was like, well, I'll do something that takes a little bit more work, and maybe I can get up to the top. And
nice.
I'm here now, so it's pretty exciting.
For people who've never done the Steeple, tell what it's like to run almost 2 miles at full pace and go over however many barrier, 20 or almost 35 barriers, and that don't move. They're not hurdles, they're barriers. And with a water jump on those 7 of those laps, tell people what that's like.
I think it's a lot more exciting personally. It's something different.
Sure.
And you know, it's like you said, not hurdles, they don't move, so you kind of have to be a little bit more, a little bit more focused. You can't ever let your guard down. I don't know, I think it's a lot more fun, but if you're having a bad race, it's probably going to be a really, really bad race.
Yeah.
I mean, that and the 10K are probably, if you're having a bad day, it's going to be a really bad day.
Yeah.
But if you're feeling good, it's not that fast of a pace. I mean, you know, what, you're going 70, 69 tops.
Sure.
So it's never like a fast pace, but
it's quick, but it's not all out, but it's just still uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's definitely uncomfortable, but it's just different. So, yeah, that's all I have.
And you've grown to like it, I guess, then?
Oh yeah, I've always liked it.
And how many bad days in the steeple have you had where you've bit it hard and barriers taking you down? Have you had any of those
yet?
I've
only had one of those, so and I try not to ever have. That was my first race of last year.
Okay.
So I've not let that happen again. That was, so just a little bit more attentive when I go over the barriers.
Sure. Is this your first time to Eugene and Hayward Field?
Yeah, I've never been here before, so.
What's the experience and the atmosphere been like so far?
It's pretty much everything you expect it to be. I mean, it definitely gets a lot of hype.
Sure.
So I think it meets those expectations pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, the crowd's pretty amazing.
Sure.
So it's a lot of fun, you know, just to get to be here, you know.
Right.
Pretty historic area for track and field. So
you guys made it over to Pre's Rock at all? You gonna try to?
Yeah, we made it over there. I'm not like a super sentimental guy, so but it was cool experience for sure.
Yeah. Well, congrats! You're headed to the final on Saturday, and best of luck then. And you can go enjoy, celebrate with Coach and family, and we'll see you Saturday.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Caleb.